Caitlin Clark basketball slowly yet surely is creeping up on us. Can't wait to see what she's got up her sleeve.
Aja Wilson just got hit with the news that's...
A.A. Wilson just was blasted with the news. Aja Wilson will undoubtedly be troubled by her choice for many years to come. So get this picture. A golden ticket was just given to Caitlin Clark. A truly coveted invitation to Team USA's critical December training camp. You must realize that this is not your typical camp. This is the one that literally decides who gets the wonderful distinction of wearing the red, white, and blue on the biggest stages imaginable. Here, we are discussing the Olympic rosters and the World Cup. And where is Aja Wilson during all of this? She's sitting at home watching it all happen from the sidelines. After months and months of throwing shade at Clark, of making those subtle digs and not so subtle complaints, you could say that karma has just rolled up to her front door and delivered the ultimate icy cold reality check. Please share your honest thoughts in the comments section below before we delve into what is turning out to be a complete catastrophe for Wilson's career story. Do you really believe that Aja Wilson is envious of Caitlin Clark, or is she merely a tough rival who is misunderstood? I assure you that what I am going to present to you may drastically alter your perspective.
It's noise that I don't really listen to, honestly, because I'm in season. I have other things that we need to worry about than what other people have to say. I have a scout, I have 11 other minds on my team and in my locker room that we got to make sure that we're on the same mindset. So I really can't give you the best answer on that because I really don't pay any attention to it. My goal is just to go out there and be the best that I can be for my teammates, both on and off the court, and we're going to go out there and be us.
Alright, so let me lay down for you exactly what just happened because honestly, the irony here is so incredibly thick, you could cut it with a knife. Team USA, with the undisputed legend Sue Bird at the helm as the managing director, has just officially announced their lineup for the upcoming December training camp, which is all going down at Duke University. Let's be quite clear about this now. This is not some casual get-together. Players don't simply show up, perform for a few days, and then leave. No, everything is decided by this camp. It answers the key questions in the entire sport. Who will create the World Cup squad in 2026? Who will get the once-in-a-lifetime honor of being selected for the 2028 Olympics in Los Angeles? This is the site where legacies are built, where entire careers are determined, and where the next generation of American basketball legends is formally born. And you know who received that golden invitation and that unquestionably strong nod of approval? The answer is already known to you. Caitlin Clark. And guess whose name was conspicuously, glaringly missed off that list? Wilson, A.A.
Love Caitlin Clark. There's no... I think she's amazing. I watched every time I possibly could. And our league loves her. This has nothing to do... We're just doing our job. We're going to show up. Who is ever on the other team is on the other team. We don't really care. We're going to show up and do us. And so I think this narrative of like everybody hating on Caitlin Clark, and even the black and white thing, knock it off. It's not there. It's not there. So shut down the noise. And by the way, what is she, 22? She's a 22-year-old woman with a lot of pressure.
Not perfect.
She's not perfect. She's a rookie in...
Take a moment to consider that. Really honestly think about what that means. The identical Aja Wilson who has spent the better portion of the last year taking shots at Caitlin Clark, whether it was through creating small social media campaigns or frantically attempting to persuade everybody who would listen that she is equally marketable and equally useful as Clark was just excluded. The most crucial roster overall of women's basketball. It's a beautiful public criticism of all she's been pushing. In the meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is lacing on her sneakers, preparing to enter that camp and formally cement her role as the indisputable face of Team USA for the next decade to come. To be honest, there isn't a greater script for poetic justice. This is the clearest confirmation of how out of touch some of Clark's criticisms have been. It seems to be a direct and inevitable result of the deception and, to be honest, the madness surrounding the entire black women but Nike problem. So, let's talk about who is being handed the keys to the kingdom right alongside Caitlin Clark, because this roster reads like a who's who of the ultimate future of women's basketball. You've got Caitlin Clark, of course. You have Paige Bueckers, who is making her much-anticipated debut for the senior national team. Another up-and-coming talent who is obviously destined for greatness is Guju Watkins. They've even brought in Angel Ree because evidently Team USA wants to keep that exciting Clark-Ree rivalry going, but this time on the international scale. In addition to the amazing skills of Cameron Brink and Aaliyah Boston, everything is held together by the seasoned leadership of Jackie Young and Kelsey Plum. What you're looking at right here is Team USA's real blueprint for the next era of global domination in women's basketball. And A.A. Wilson is unquestionably nowhere to be found on it. Before Wilson supporters go to her rescue in the comments, let's be clear about the true implications of this ruling. This is not about dismissing A.A. Wilson's abilities as a basketball player. Nobody, and I mean nobody, is doubting that she's been an elite force in the WNBA. She has won many MVP awards. She's won championships. She has been a dominant presence in the league for years. However, this crucial fact appears to be overlooked. Being skilled at basketball isn't the primary requirement for Team USA anymore. They require players that are capable of playing American basketball internationally. Players with the ability to enthrall and draw big crowds from around the world. And players who can elevate the entire program to unprecedented heights. And Caitlin Clark is the best at all of those things in the sport right now. And yes, that includes A.A. Wilson. Subbard didn't just flip a coin to make this selection. She is among the best players in the history of the sport and may have the best basketball mind in the modern women's game. She knows precisely what it takes to prevail on the international stage. She is aware of the type. Many athletes succeed in FIA competitions and she is fully aware of what Team USA must not only maintain its dominance but also to increase the attraction of women's basketball. Thus, when Sue Bird examines Caitlin Clark, she sees the total packet. Additionally, when she examines the Wilson's current circumstances, apparently, she notices something that just doesn't align with their vision. Trying to build. And let's discuss about what they're building since it's essential background to comprehend why Clark got the invite and Wilson didn't. Team USA isn't simply striving to win gold medals these days. Their goal is far more expansive than that. They are actively trying to grow the sport on a global scale. They're trying to attract millions of new fans. They are aiming to maximize their commercial appeal and leverage their large platform to elevate women's basketball worldwide. All of that is naturally brought to the table by Caitlin Clark. Her games shatter viewership records. Her sales of jerseys completely surpass those of everyone else. She is far more active on social media than any other player in the league. Global firms are lining up only for a chance to work with her. A whole generation of kids wants to pick up a basketball as a result of her. Going ahead, Team USA wants that kind of seismic impact at the core of their program.
Yeah, she's pretty incredible. I mean, you watch her and it's unguardable. There's nothing anybody can do to stop it. Like, she's just that dominant, whether it's her mid-range game, she can put it on the floor. She's just so athletic, but also she affects the game on both ends. Like, she's a really good defensive player, great rim protector, just so athletic, and obviously she's been able to shoot the three pretty well this year too. So it's fun to watch. It's like I said, like, everybody in the league knows you can't guard it. You basically just live with what she's going to do to you every single night. It's just you contain it as best you can, and she's going to make some shots that are really tough. And like I said, like it's going to be a tall task. You're facing multiple people. You just hope to contain it the best you can.
Now, to really comprehend the incredible weight of this decision, let's just rewind the tape for a second and talk about how we even got to this place. Because, to be honest, A'ja Wilson's response to Caitlin Clark's quick ascent has been a protracted, embarrassing display of deep-seated insecurity and jealousy. It really kicked off with the Nike deal. Remember that when Clark signed her massive, historic endorsement contract with Nike, one of the greatest agreements ever seen in women's sports, Wilson was unable to wait for Clark to have her moment. Oh no! Wilson had to launch her strange "I also own a shoe" campaign, sharing images of her personal Nike sneakers on social media. It sounded like a child at someone else's birthday celebration begging for attention. The despair was just palpable. Wilson made the decision to make it about herself, which made her appear petty, rather than acknowledging that a deal like Clark's lifts all boats for female athletes and celebrating a historic victory for all of women's basketball. Naturally, the mysterious social media posts followed. The slogan, "What is delayed is not denied," virtually became Wilson's personal motto, posted over and over again as Clark's fame just kept ascending to new heights. The implication was quite apparent. Wilson genuinely felt that she was merely biding her time, waiting for her time to come, and that she deserved the same degree of fame and financial success as Clark. The only problem, that moment never came. Because Clark was out there truly earning her success by astounding performance, a captivating personality, and an unparalleled influence on the sport, while Wilson was busy posting motivational sayings about patience. The Time Athlete of the Year award, though, seems to be what really broke Wilson. When Caitlin Clark became the first women's basketball player, Wilson's social media efforts went into total overdrive in order to receive this esteemed award. She started liking posts from random accounts that questioned whether Clark even deserved the honor. She shared content that suggested other athletes were more worthy. The Dead Sea would be envious of the high salt content. Wilson opted to be resentful of someone else's amazing accomplishment rather than viewing this as a huge moment for women's basketball, one of their own receiving widespread recognition. And it didn't end there. Wilson then attempted to assert that she earns the same speaking fees as Clark. Let's simply halt for a second and recognize how utterly irrational such assertion is. Without a doubt, the most sought-after athlete in women's sports at the moment is Caitlin Clark. Companies are practically throwing money at her merely to show up at their events for a few hours. With the probable exception of Serena Williams, she is able to demand fees that no other female athlete has ever been able to. Wilson also wants everyone to think that she operates in the same financial realm. The claim was so utterly ludicrous that it almost made you feel sorry for her because it revealed just how profoundly insecure she feels about Clark's commercial dominance. Every accomplishment Clark made caused Wilson to have another breakdown. A rookie record is broken by Clark. Wilson posts about veteran experience and paying dues. Clark guides her squad to the postseason. Wilson talks about championship pedigree. Clark appears in popular media. Wilson starts complaining about media prejudice. The pattern was apparent yet exhausting at the same time. Wilson simply could not let Clark enjoy a single moment of triumph without trying to either lessen it or frantically divert the spotlight back to herself. And so now here we are. This camp invitation is both the greatest affirmation of Clark's achievements and the final denial of Wilson's entire strategy. Team USA looked at these two fantastic players. They assessed their abilities, leadership potential, marketability, and general compatibility with the program's future. And Clark was their choice. Additionally, they deliberately left Wilson at home rather than just selecting Clark. That's not a passive decision. That is an active statement about where Team USA sees the future of women's basketball heading. WNBA head coaches like Stephanie White, Cara Lawson, and Cheryl Reeve are among the camp's coaches. These individuals don't make snap decisions based solely on emotion. They are professional basketball experts who assess skill with a detached, unbiased viewpoint. They have seen Wilson and Clark perform at the pinnacle of their abilities. They have witnessed Clark's ability to uplift each and every one of her teammates, perform under extreme pressure, gracefully handle her media responsibilities, and represent the sport as a whole. They also seem to have witnessed all of Wilson's activities. They determined it's just not what they need for the program. Right now, Clark's own teammate, Aaliyah Boston, will be at this camp, too, which creates a fascinating situation. During their inaugural season with the Indiana Fever, Clark and Boston formed an amazing bond. Boston's dominant defensive presence and interior scoring are the perfect complement to Clark's perimeter brilliance. You can guarantee the Team USA coaches are going to be watching that pairing very, very closely, because if that chemistry translates to international competition the same way it worked in the WNBA, for years to come, those two might be the cornerstone of Team USA's roster. Meanwhile, A.A. Wilson is at home watching her former teammate preparing to build international chemistry with someone else. The sheer abundance of youthful talent at this program is astonishing. You have Paige Bilkers, who is one of the most skilled athletes to come out of college basketball in a generation. You have Ju-Gu Watkins, who is already drawing comparisons to the sport's all-time greats. These athletes stand for the upcoming generation of outstanding American basketball players. And they are all come into this camp as Caitlin Clark's peers and possible colleagues, not as Ozza Wilson. That fundamental shift in generational focus has to sting for Wilson, who probably envisioned herself as the seasoned mentor who would guide these new talents. Instead, Caitlin Clark gets that position. What's truly fascinating is how diametrically opposed Clark and Wilson are in their approach to achievement and recognition. Clark constantly deflects praise to her teammates. She always talks about team accomplishments rather than her individual awards. Her social media account's content is centered on honoring others and promoting the sport as a whole. She is nice when she triumphs. When she loses, she takes full blame. That genuine authenticity resonates powerfully with fans, and evidently it resonates with the decision-makers at Team USA. Wilson, however, has created nearly everything about herself. Her posts are based on her achievements, her accolades, her status. There's always someone else to blame or an excuse to make when things don't go her way. That kind of approach could work for a time when you're dominating, but it becomes The main goals of account's content are to promote the sport overall and to recognize others. When she succeeds, she is kind. She accepts full responsibility when she loses. Fans find great resonance in that sincere authenticity, and Team USA's decision-makers clearly feel the same way. Wilson, however, has invented practically everything about herself. Her posts are based on her status, accomplishments, and honors. When things don't go her way, she can always find someone else to blame or an explanation. That kind of strategy could work for a period when you're dominating, but it becomes a posts create engagement statistics that most professional sports franchises would kill for. If Caitlin Clark is on the squad, you can be sure that foreign broadcasters will pay more when negotiating the rights to Team USA games. That's just the plain facts of economics. Clark's significant commercial influence was acknowledged by Forbes, which included her on their esteemed 30 Under 30 list. Her exceptional basketball skills weren't the only reason for her notoriety. It resulted from Clark's ability to go beyond her sport. She is a cultural phenomenon who actively drives consumer behavior in a variety of sectors. Wilson has never gained that kind of crossover appeal. She is a fantastic basketball player who excels in the sport. In addition to being a cultural force, Clark is a basketball player. There is a massive difference between those two things, and Team USA clearly understands which one serves their long-term interests better. Even Clark's transition into the golf industry has been quite amazing. The LPGA Tour has accepted her. Professional golfers are lining up to play with her. Golf brands want to support her. She is drawing basketball fans to golf tournaments and in turn bringing golfers to basketball contests. This type of multi-sport effect broadens everyone's audience and increases the pot as a whole. Wilson has never generated that type of attention in any sport outside of basketball. Her one-dimensional appeal eventually reduces her value to companies looking to grow. The viewing figures just do not deceive. The ratings for Clark's games were consistently much higher than those of any other WNBA player. On the nights her team performed, subscription rises were noted by streaming services. Road arenas that would typically be half empty were completely packed out when Clark and the Fever visited to town. Local companies. On Clark game days, nearby arenas reported higher income. Everywhere she visited, she genuinely stimulated the economy. Wilson's games bring good, respectable crowds, but they have never produced the same kind of cultural moment or economic tidal wave that Clark's performances do. Ozza Wilson must now watch from home while Caitlin Clark gets ready for the kinds of opportunities that characterize careers in international basketball. The 2026 World Cup offers Clark an opportunity to showcase her extraordinary skills against the greatest players from every single continent. Los Angeles will host the 2028 Olympics in front of roaring home crowds who will absolutely lose their wits seeing Clark lead Team USA. These are the moments that transform great players into immortal legend. While A.A. Wilson watches from her TV, Caitlin Clark gets to experience all of the phases that athletes dream about throughout their careers. The way this camp squad is put together implies that Team USA is centering its long-term future around Clark. They are surrounding her with exceptional young talent who can grow alongside her throughout the next Olympic cycle. They are creating chemistry right now that will yield tremendous returns for years and years to come. This isn't just about one tournament or one single competition. This is about establishing the basis for the upcoming dynasty of Team USA. And Caitlin Clark is the cornerstone of that foundation, not Ozza Wilson. After all this time, Wilson's petty social media campaigns and months of envious behavior have utterly and dramatically backfired. Every effort she made to downplay Clark's achievements just made her own insecurities more apparent. Every cryptic post simply made her look more desperate for attention. Every assertion she made on her own achievements just served to highlight how far ahead Clark is already in terms of real power and impact. Wilson tried to tear Caitlin Clark down, and in the end she merely managed to reveal her own vulnerability. The coaching team at this camp will be examining every single aspect of these athletes' games. Their abilities, leadership, coachability, team harmony, and capacity to withstand extreme strain. Clark is going to excel in every single one of those areas because she's been doing it at the highest level since she was in college. She is skilled at performing in front of a global audience. She is skilled at improving her colleagues and representing the sport with grace and professionalism. These attributes are important, just as much as rebounds or points per game when Team USA decides on their final squad. So, there you have it. For months, A.A. Wilson tried to persuade everyone that she was on par with Caitlin Clark. And Team USA just provided a definitive response to that query for everyone. So, what do you think? Was this ruling fair, or did A.A. Wilson get? Drop your ideas down in the comments below. And if you want more coverage of all this growing drama, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. I'll see you in the next.